The Warnborough College.
Today we're speaking to Dr. Seay, who graduated in 1999 with a doctorate in Humanities. So firstly, can you tell us a bit about your course and any highlights of the programme?
Yeah, delighted to do that. I had just finished a Master of Liberal Studies at Rollins College here in Winter Park and wanted to pursue a PhD. And so I looked around at several different ways to do that. And the president of the local college here today said that this was 1999, and this sounds like I'm really dating myself, because he said, take a look at what they're offering online. So I did, and then I discovered Warnborough, and then I wanted to do something in the humanities, and I had some particular areas that I wanted to study, and Warnborough met that need.
Lovely, thank you. And how would you describe the level of support that you received?
It was wonderful. My mentor was Dr. Noor Mazor, and he was wonderful. I met with him twice in person in London, and stayed on the phone, and this is going to date me also with faxes, so he was wonderful. Julian was wonderful. Julian, I called him several times, and he was always very responsive and very, very helpful. Dr. Brendan is the same way.
Amazing. Okay. And how do you think your time at Warnborough aided your overall career progression and personal development?
Yeah, I'm a management consultant in human resources management, and I've been doing that since 1970 when I got out of the Army. I spent 2 years in the Army, but I've been doing management consulting, but I wanted to do something in addition to that. And so I had this academic interest, and it was different from management consulting. It was in the humanities, and I wanted to pursue that. I have an English degree from Virginia Tech in addition to, so all of my degrees are in the humanities, even though I'm a businessman for the most part. In terms of how it helped my career, it allowed me to be a college professor at 2 different places, which is something that was on my bucket list. But I also think that getting a humanities education makes you a more interesting person, because you can talk about more different things other than X's and O's. And I think that being able to use illustrations from the great classics in my work as a management consultant, I think that made my presentations more interesting and certainly set me apart from other people who were not able to do that. I've often said you can be right as rain and yet be dry as dust. So when you're teaching or presenting management workshops or even talking to a client of some kind, you got to be interesting. That's rule number 1: make it interesting. And so I think that the material that I was privileged to study at Warnborough I think it's made me a more interesting person. I hope that's the case.
Definitely. I think as well, it would make you understand other people a lot more, not just yourself, which is obviously a great attribute to get.
Yeah, that's true. That's part of what the humanities is. The humanities is what is it to be human, and what it is to be human is that you're born, you live your life, and you die, and we're all that way. And so we share those similar experiences. And then when you study, like, for example, my major interest was in the literature of the Trojan War. Real egghead stuff, but really interesting. And so there's so many different interesting characters involved in the Trojan War: Achilles, Agamemnon, and on and on and on. And the Trojan War and the literature surrounding the Trojan War has had as great an impact on the modern world as any other package of literature that I can imagine.
You taught at a private college in Florida. How did they accept your experience from Warnborough?
Rollins was wonderful. Rollins is a private, one of the top 10 private liberal arts colleges in the country. And so I had gotten my master's degree there. And then so I was able to teach there as an adjunct professor, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years, 9 years. And I was able to teach the ancient humanities, which is my field of interest. And so they accepted everything that I did at Warnborough completely without any hesitation.
That's amazing. And are there any specific skills that you acquired that you've been able to put into practice throughout your career?
Yeah, I think that to do distance education, you almost have to come to the table with a set of skills. So you have to be a self-starter, and you have to set goals and enjoy accomplishing goals, and you have to be disciplined in what you do. So I think if you come to the table with those kinds of skills, I've seen some people engaged in distance learning who really did not know how to handle it because they, I guess, wanted it to be given to them rather than going out and getting it. With distance learning, you got to go get it. And with the support system that Warnborough provided, it was just perfect for me.
That's great, and I agree. So what was it like coming over to Warnborough for our 30th anniversary at Parliament House? How was your experience with that?
It was great. I mean, holy cow. I mean, I just love coming over there, meeting the people, and all the Warnborough people are so nice and friendly and generous and intellectual. And it's just really a great experience.
Lovely. And lastly, do you have any advice that you'd give to future students to help them get the most out of their course?
Well, I don't know how much of an advice giver I could be on that score because, as I said earlier, you pretty much have to come to the table with some degree of discipline and some degree of goal setting and be a self-starter. I would say examine yourself. Socrates says the unexamined life is not worth living. And so I would say examine yourself and see if you have those skills and see if that's what you want to do. And if so, I would say, hop in the pool and go at it.
The Warnborough College.